Welcome back to Essays Made Easy. What are the common mistakes people make while writing the general essay? One thing is taking too much liberty and writing articles. As I told you, the whole idea of essay paper is to check whether you are able to write a proper report. So, the order in which you present your ideas matters a lot. A clear introduction, body of content in clear order, and a proper conclusion is a must. Apart from this, let me tell you certain other things. Common mistakes which people make. Your essay paper is not exactly valued on the number of points. Of course, all the relevant information and ideas are important, but at the same time, it's not exactly point wise. So, if you write your essay in bullet points, that obviously not going to work, because the whole idea is to check your presentation skills. And make sure that you write things in proper sentences and paragraphs. And each paragraph can be devoted for separate ideas. So, bullet points are for your GS paper, where you will be writing 100 to 150 words or a maximum 200 words. Their bullet points, okay. But here, since it's all about your power of presentation, make sure that you write full sentences in paragraphs. Another thing is, there is no need for subtitles here. In GS paper, by all means, do it. But here, you suddenly putting a subtitle like, even I've seen people writing introduction and conclusion. You don't need to. Because in an essay, that's not necessary. Similarly, causes, consequences, points in favor, points against. You don't need any of those. Because in a way, these things are like check downs, which kind of obstruct the flow. So, if you write subtitle, if you end up write subtitles, nobody is going to deduct too much of marks from you. But ultimately, to ensure the flow, you better don't. So, avoid subtitles. That's my suggestion. Then, another thing, don't underline your points. Again, here, you won't be penalized for doing, but highlighting of important points is something which you do in your GS paper. Here, that language of that particular thing and, the adherence to the larger flow and scheme of things, those things are more important rather than the highlighting of the points. So, underlining does not help. So, better avoid. I mean, if you have that habit, can't help it, but ideally, you don't need to. Then, subtitles and underline, I would say you better avoid. One thing which you definitely should avoid in your general essay paper is diagrams and graphs. Because those things you do when you are either short of time or when you can put a point across in a better way. Say for example, in a geography paper, when you write about the mineral wealth of India, you draw a map of India and you mark the areas of importance. But when it comes to essay paper, don't do such a thing. Don't use too much of statistics and end up writing a table. Or, statistics of course you can quote, but don't draw a table and put the decadal growth rate or something like that. Don't do a graph or a flow chart or a diagram at any rate. Because the whole idea here is to understand your presentation skills, your language abilities, your ability to put your ideas and viewpoints in a proper sentences. So don't do such kind of things like diagrams. And I told you, you could use some narrations and quotations and things like that as part of ornamentation, but don't put too much of them. Use them appropriately. I once came across somebody who ended up writing almost 50 quotes verbatim in an essay of 10 pages. While I was so appreciative of the person's memory, most of those quotes were, out of place. And that person's essay marks were not good compared to her marks in the other papers. So, all these things, quotes and examples and real life things, you could use it as ornamentation. For abstract topic, of course, you have to do a little bit more on that. But still, be judicious when you use them. And generally, these are the mistakes I would suggest you to avoid while you present your essay. And in next episode, I would like to cover about the kind of mistakes people make related to the language part. So, wait for the next episode to know about that. Thank you for watching.